Hi, it's Dawn from Ninja Bunny Crochet. Today I've got a cat toy for us to do. It's a little mouse. You can put catnip in this, or you could just leave it without catnip. I usually don't put catnip in these when I'm donating them to the animal shelter. If it's for my own cats, I go ahead and put some catnip in them because, you know, cats really do like catnip. You can make this without a little face, or you can put a little face on it like I did with this one. I usually do put a little bell on it because they do like that little sound with the bell on there. I've made this with just my scrap yarn. This is worsted weight yarn, a little bit of polyfill, and the bell. And like I said, if you have catnip, you put a little catnip in there. You're going to want to get a stitch marker. It doesn't have to be one of these little fancy plastic ones. You can use just a little scrap of yarn or a paper clip, whatever you'd like to use for a stitch marker. You're going to want a yarn needle and a pair of scissors, and I used a G hook, 4.0 millimeter hook. So let's get started on making a little catnip mouse. To start the mouse, we're going to start with a magic ring. Place your yarn over your hand, over your index finger and your middle finger, and secure it with your thumb. Wrap the yarn around your fingers to form an X. Take your hook, place it under the bottom yarn, grab the top yarn, pull it under and twist. Grab your working yarn and make a chain stitch to secure the loop, the magic ring. We're going to place 6 single crochets into the magic ring. Once you have your 6 single crochets, pull your tail tight to close the magic ring. For round 2, we're going to place 2 single crochets in each stitch around. We're working in continuous rounds for this project, so we're not slip stitching at all. Continue making 2 single crochets in each stitch until you get back to the beginning, and I'll meet up with you at the end of the round. I'm at the end of round 2. I have 12 stitches. Place a stitch marker in the last stitch that you made. For round 3, we're going to place 1 single crochet into each stitch around. Don't forget when you get back to your stitch marker to move it up. I'll meet back up with you at the end of the round. I'm at the end of round 3. I still have 12 stitches. And before we go on to round 4, I'd like you to flip your work over and take your tail, if you haven't worked over the top of it, and thread up your yarn needle. You might need to take your hook out to do this too. Just make sure you pull out that loop so it doesn't pull back in. And so closed the magic ring. If you worked over the tail, you won't have to worry about doing this. Just get into some of these stitches are going to be tight, and that's okay. You want them to be tight. said this is being really tight. Okay. It's up to you. You can clip this off or you can leave it loose because this is going to be all inside and it's going to stuff. We're going to stuff the toy so it can be used as extra stuffing. I don't bother clipping it off because we're going to be stuffing the mouse toy. So turn your work back around, put your hook back in, and now we can start round 4. For round 4, we're going to single in the next 3 stitches. And then in the next stitch, we're going to do a single crochet increase. That's placing 2 single crochets into the same stitch. And that's going to be the repeat all the way around. 1 single, 1 single, 1 single, increase, or 2 single crochets into the same stitch. Please repeat this till you get back to your stitch marker, and don't forget to move your stitch marker back up. And I'll meet up with you at the end of the round. I'm at the end of round 4. We have 15 stitches. And for round 5, we're going to single crochet 1 time in each stitch around. Please continue this, and I'll meet back up with you at the end of the round. I'm at the end of round 5. We still have 15 stitches. And for round 6, we're going to single crochet in the back loop only for this round. So here is your front loops, and here is your back loops. So we're going to go into the back loop only for this entire round. These back loops. So we're placing 1 single crochet into the back loop only for this round. So please continue this so you get back to your stitch marker, and don't forget to move your stitch marker up. I'll meet back up with you at the end of the round. I'm at the end of round 6. We still have 15 stitches. And to start round 7, we're going to single crochet through both loops. Single crochet into the next 4 stitches. Then we're going to single crochet increase into the next. And that is our repeat around to the stitch marker. Single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, then increase. So please continue this till you get around to your stitch marker, and don't forget to move the stitch marker up, and I'll meet back up with you at the end of the round. At the end of round 7, we have 18 single crochets. To start round 8, we are going to single crochet increase in the next 6 stitches. Then we're going to single crochet one time in the next 12 stitches, or the next remaining 12 stitches. Please continue with this until you get to your stitch marker, and I'll meet back up with you at the end of the round. I'm at the end of round 8. We have 24 stitches now. Now for rounds 9 through 19, it's just going to be one single crochet in each stitch around. So rounds 9 through 19 will be exactly the same, just one single crochet in each stitch around. So please continue that all the way around. Make sure you move your stitch marker for each round for rounds 9 through 19, and I'll meet back up with you at the end of round 19. I'm at the end of round 19. I still have 24 stitches. We're going to take out our hook and go ahead and stuff our mouse. So I'm going to try to get a little bit of stuffing down into that nose first. So if you were going to put some catnip in there, you would do this, what you'd want to do. You go ahead and put that in there now. When I'm using catnip, I usually put some polyfill in, and then I put the catnip in. And then I put a little more polyfill up on top of the catnip just to hold it in place so that it doesn't come out. Let me grab a little more polyfill here. But since I'll be donating these to my local animal shelter, I'm not going to put any catnip in this one. There we go. Let's get our hook back in here. You don't want to overfill it yet, because you can always add a few little more in there as you're closing it up. Or if you need to, you can take some out as well. Okay, so for round 20, we're going to start decreasing and closing up the bottom of our toy. So round 20, we're going to do a single crochet and a decrease, single crochet and a decrease all the way around. So the first stitch will be a single crochet and then a decrease. If you're not sure how to do a decrease, you go into your stitch, pull up a loop, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops on your hook, and that is a single crochet decrease. 2 stitches have become 1. And you're going to do a single in the next stitch and another decrease. Again, insert your hook, pull up a loop, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. Continue this pattern all the way around till you get back to your stitch marker, and make sure you move up your stitch marker. I'll meet up with you at the end of the round. At the end of round 20, we have 16 stitches, and for round 21, we're going to decrease in each stitch around, so our 16 stitches will become 8 stitches. So we're going to insert our hook, pull up a loop, insert our hook, and pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3. And we're going to do that again in the next one. Insert, pull up a loop, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. Continue this all the way around to get back to your stitch marker, and I'll meet up with you at the end of the round. I'm at the end of round 21. We have 8 stitches left. I've taken out my stitch marker because this is going to be, round 22 is going to be our last round. We're going to single crochet decrease 4 more times, so we have 4 stitches left. Do not fasten off because we're going to jump right into the tail. So this is going to be a little bit tight, but you're going to do your 4 decreases again. That's 1, 2, 3, and then this last one is 4. Okay, do not fasten off. I want you to chain 16. Once you have your chain of 16, we're going to single crochet second chain from hook all the way back down to the body of the mouse. Once you've single crocheted in the last chain, fasten off. Leave yourself a little bit of a tail so that you can sew. Get your yarn needle and thread it up. You'll be able to see where the hole is. You're going to sew across that hole to close it up. It'll also bring in the tail. Just sew back and forth across the hole, a couple of different directions to close up the hole. Once you've got the hole securely closed, go in to the mouse through a stitch and go out the side. Go in through the bottom and out through the side. Just find a stitch to come out. And pull out the yarn like this and snip it off. The end will go back into the mouse, just like that. Now don't toss out this little piece, because you can use that piece to attach the bell to the tail. Just thread up your yarn needle and go through. Whoops, this one's a little too big of a yarn needle, so let me get a smaller one. Sorry about that. There we go, this one goes through. And I just go ahead and put it right into the end of the mouse's tail. Again, it's a little bit, sometimes it can be a little bit tough to get through there. Just like that. Take out your yarn needle and tie the bell on. Now if you have a different way of attaching the bell, that's fine. Whatever works for you. And your tail should curl right up, just like that. And now we can move on to the ears. When you hold your mouse to the side, you'll see it has this hump. That's the top part of your mouse. So turn your mouse so it's facing you. Start with a slip knot on your hook. And in one of the free loops, about where you believe the ears should be, any one of those free loops, go ahead and attach your yarn with a slip knot or slip stitch. And in chain 3, in the next stitch, you're going to do a bobble stitch. So you're going to yarn over, insert your hook into that free loop of the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, you'll have 3 loops, yarn over, insert again, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, 4 loops, yarn over, insert one more time, pull up a loop, go through the first 2 loops, you'll have 5 loops on your hook, yarn over, and draw through all 5 loops. The next stitch, slip stitch into, then fasten off. And that forms your ear. And there's the little ear. Then you're going to want to skip 2 stitches and repeat again in the next loop for your next ear. So now that both ears are done, we need to weave the ends in. And I'll show you how to do one of those, and then you can do the rest. So we're throw up the yarn needle, go through the back of the ear, and you can either do it into the mouse part itself, into the body of the mouse, or the back of the ear. I like to just go through a few of the stitches on the back of the mouse, just to pull, just to hide that, and then just push it into the body of the mouse and out a side of the stitch, just like that. And then take the other side and do the same. In for a few of the stitches, like that. Then back into the mouse and try to come out somewhere near the same area. And then just go ahead and snip those ends off. They'll go inside the mouse. And then you can repeat with the other ear. Just like that. Here's our completed little mouse. All the ends are tucked away and little bells on. Now if you want, you can put a little face on it like I did on this orange one. I also made a little yellow one too. Or you can keep it with no face like I did on the little yellow one here, like this one. It's really up to you. You're the artist. So if you like this tutorial, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to ring that bell. And thanks for watching, and happy crochet. Bye-bye.